What is up, guys? Welcome back to JB Breaks Free. Another episode on this chilly day in central New York. It's going to get even colder tomorrow. I guess the high is like 4 tomorrow, so God only knows what the wind chill will be. Just want to give some quick updates. Awful night at work last night that I will get into and how I handled it, and hopefully I'm handling it in a correct way. A few things before that, I was bringing the girls to school this morning, my twins who are 8, and I'm like, oh, what a nasty day out there today. It started snowing. It was pretty, but it was just like freezing and snowing. They go, no, Dad, it's beautiful. And I go, you're right. It is beautiful, and I love that attitude. And I've mentioned before in these videos, that attitude rubs off on me, to see the beauty in all things and to just have an attitude of gratitude and to see the world with wonder and through the eyes of a child, I think is tremendous. I was a bit hesitant on Instacarting today because I don't like to do it in the snow if I don't have to. But I did. I got out there a little bit. I did make $60 in about 3 hours, and that brought me to, I think, about $245 for the week, which is not bad, just extremely part-time. I don't think I'm going to be doing it tomorrow because it's going to be wicked cold, so I'll probably just catch up on some things and try to do some things around the house and try to learn some new ideas. So the $245, so that is 2.5 days that I'm going to buy myself off in the future. If you go back and check out my other plans, to buy my time instead of buying things. And man, last night made me want to stockpile days, and I hope I responded to it well. I don't want to turn this video or channel into boss bashing. I think that would be easy to do and maybe more popular, but it's not about that for me. It's more about how I respond and how I handle it. And I went through the range of emotions. It was a crazy night. We waited on 89 people in-house with 2 servers last night. It was just restaurant week, and everyone's piling in, and we did like 19 to-go packages, like 60 orders to go, just craziness. So, there was an electricity, and I hate one of the things I hate most about getting yelled at work is A, when it's not my fault, or B, just out of the blue. Like one time it was approaching 5 o'clock, and on his reservation book were, I don't know, 5 or 6 reservations, and at like 4:50 he's like, Jay, you gotta hold these people back, slow them down. And I'm like, you're telling me to slow the dinner rush at 5 when there's like 50 people coming in? It's, you're putting me in a position to fail. And I do feel like that it's me who gets put in those positions or gets hammered out of the blue, more often than not. And this, oh man, it's been going on for a long time, but I've dealt with it in several different ways, and I think I'm handling it better now. So last night I'm prepping the bags for the big to-goes, and we're prepping rolls and just getting everything ready. And he asks, like, Jay, did you do yours? And I'm like, yeah, I did mine. And then he just like turned and freaked out about how I wasn't a team player and just started flipping out. And I'm just like, no, I think you misunderstood me. I'm like, I did mine because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, I didn't understand that he wanted like 15 more bags done, and if he did, he could have just asked. That's never something I've ever done before. And when we get our bread for the regular to-goes, we just do it ourselves, and we fill out our own bags. And I was having my stuff ready, and then out of the blue, just whoa! And it wasn't like he was just upset. Like you could tell he was freaked a little bit and freaking out on me. And this is like 15 minutes before we're gonna have to take care of basically 90 customers, between myself and another waiter. And man, it threw me off for really the whole night, of course, and even still into the day. And I've gone through a flux of emotions, of course, very angry at first, and then just, and it's distracting me at the tables. One thing his chaotic nature does bring is it makes everything else easy. I'm very calm in the eye of that hurricane of waiting on 90 people with one other waiter, and you're 4 tables behind, and it's just and your boss is screaming at you. It's crazy. Um, then the anger kind of subsided, and it's been a deep sadness. Sad that he has to treat me like that. Sad that I have to deal with that at doing a job that I love, at a place that I love, for a boss that I love. And I can't believe he acts like that. Sometimes I don't get it. I get that things are intense, and he's such a nice guy, but I don't know. Just very overwhelming sadness. And I mentioned I stuck up for myself a little. I'm like, you think I'm not a team player and this and that. I was flabbergasted, dumbfounded. It was never would have seen that one coming, and those ones that kind of hurt the most. Um, then I went through some stoic lessons, like you don't have to turn this into a thing. Um, it doesn't have to upset you. That's a Marcus Aurelius quote. And that quote kept going over and over in my head. Don't escalate it. Um, don't do anything with it. It is what it is. And then throughout the night, he kind of acted like it didn't happen. And I'm just like, oh my God. It really is just sad. And I thought about the space between the stimulus and response. And that's what we can control. If somebody screams at you and you scream back, that's very quick. But there's still that little space in between the yell and your response. And in that space is where we can find calm, peace, freedom, wisdom, on how to handle these subjects. So, just overwhelming sense of sadness, but those are the things that just push me so hard onto the path of financial independence. And I don't know, sometimes I think I could just do it right now. I probably could just Instacart full time and look for other places. The money's really good there. And of course, I see a lot of quotes that, that's not what it's about. Your happiness is more important than money, and I know that. But right now, I'm just kind of in a bit of a stockpiling phase, doing the best I can with these two jobs right now, and the money's been pretty good at where I work for the last 15 and a half years. If it wasn't, I suppose I'd be gone already. And again, I can't control how he interacts with me. I can only control my response. And another thing Marcus Aurelius says is we should not be surprised if somebody, comes at us like that. It's natural. Human beings are natural. We come from the same mind. We might not be of the same body and blood, but we come from the same mind, and therefore we must work together, like, the right and left foot, hand, like the top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth. We're meant to be together, and because we are of the same mind, he can do me no harm. And then I started thinking of another quote, like Marcus Aurelius says, you got to be the rock in the ocean, the huge rock that the waves just crash up against and bounce off. And I can have that inner citadel into myself. I can retreat there, and I don't want to let him or anyone else break me there or anywhere else. I alone choose to be offended or not offended, and I choose how I react to it. Do I break free, or do I dive headfirst into decompressing with vices, whether it's food, drugs, cigs, alcohol, anything, anything that take my mind off it in a bad way, video games, porn? Or do I react by going out and side hustling this morning in the cold, by studying philosophy, by saving my money and not spending it on junk that could make me happy? I could probably be pretty happy buying some baseball cards or records, but I choose to go on a financial independence journey for my freedom. And I get a lot of reminders, unfortunately, of why that is. But then after the anger subsided and after the sadness is sliding away, I am now going into the phase of the rock, where he won't break me. Nothing there will break me. I'll do the best I can, and that's all that I can control. In my heart, I know that I was doing the right thing, last night, and the majority of the times, if it's a mistake that I make, then so be it, and I'll learn from that mistake. And nobody's perfect, so I don't expect myself to be or anyone else. But that's how I handled a bad day at work. Getting yelled at again, it does take my heart out of it. Like, I guess that might be a way I deal with it too, a little bit, or have been. Like, my heart's been ripped out of that place for a while now. And like I said, there's a reason why you radically change your life to join the fire movement. There's a lot of people with the same story as me out there that came home from a bad day at work and said, how the F can I retire early? And, whatever is motivating you, let me know if you've had a similar experience or situation, or what's motivating you. And again, this is not the only motivation. My purest form of the motivation is to just be in control of my time and spend more time with my family, and yes, in a less stressful environment perhaps. But I wish you all well. Gonna be a good day, because it's up to us. We can make it a good day, and I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.